Hello everyone, myself Kanika Malik and I am assistant professor in CSC department Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College. So today we'll be talking about the subject data analytics. Data analytics is a subject in running in third year. So I will start teach this subject. First of all, this is the syllabus of data analytics. In this subject, we just talk about the data and machine learning. It is a subject related to machine learning and big data, and nowadays it is taught in many of the areas. So as you can see that in the first unit itself, we will talk about introduction to data analytics, and then we will say check the sources and nature of data, classification of data, and different types of data. There are various data platforms where it is used. So let's talk about it. Okay, first of all, if I ask what is data analytics? So data analytics, as you can see, it is defined as a process of cleaning, transforming and modeling data to discover useful information for business decision making. As we know, in today's era, we are dealing with lots of data in almost every application, whether we go in health sector, banking sector, or official areas. Everywhere we talk about big data. So it's very necessary to analyze data, and we must know some methods and algorithms so that we can analyze the data. So data science is the science of analyzing raw data in order to make conclusions about that information. So what is the purpose of data analytics? The main purpose of data analytics is to extract useful information from data and taking the decision based upon the data analytics. For example, if we have lots of data and we want to get the information about some specific data. So instead of running the query in any programming language or via through any schema, we will just sort out our data via data analyst technique. Okay. So this is the overview. Then, and why do we need data analytics? This is also an important question that arises. Why do we need data analysis? Data analysis is required, for example, because manufacturing companies or any other companies want to have some, they want to reduce their time, they want to optimize their output. That's why they need the data to be analyzed on various machines. Okay. Then, this is all about the syllabus. Now, the main thing is that if I want to classify my data, in how many ways can I do with that? So here we can see that there are three classification of data. Okay, structured data, semi-structured data and unstructured data. So if I talk about structured data, it is a tabular data, rows and columns which are very well defined. The most optimized and structured data is structured one. Okay, in this we can put our data in any particular format. Either it can be in the form of a table or a graph or any other structure. Okay, for example, transactional data, traditional RDBMS, CSV files and spreadsheets. You must have heard about CSV files also. So CSV files basically are the Excel types of file which we use. So if we classify the data, that is structured data. Then second type is semi-structured data. Semi-structured data are the simple textual files which are in impartial format correct. Okay, that means they are not properly corrected, but they are impartially correct, and we just via any mechanism we convert it into a correct mechanism. So textual data files with a distinct pattern that enables parsing, and the data which is in our semi-structured form, that must be capable to be converted into a consistent format. That means it is not specific that we have to do it in that particular steps only. So we have lots of option in that. Okay. So I guess everybody is clear with these two types of structured data. Then if I talk about third data is unstructured data. Okay. So this is third one. This is first, second and third. Okay. So third one is unstructured data. Unstructured data is the rawest form of data. The data which we do not have any structure, which do not have any fixed format, and we just keep on sending it from one place to another place. For example, if we transmit any data or we send any audio file, any video file or any PDF via WhatsApp or any other mode, so that would come in the category of unstructured data. So in the various applications of data analytics, we can just categorize into various parts. Here you can see the classification of structured, unstructured and semi-structured, and this difference is very important for exam point of view, and we must know about these. These are the characteristics defined. As we can see that this is the example of structured data, and in structured data we are putting our data into a matrix form. Then this is an unstructured data which is partially correct and we don't have any predefined data models for it, and this is the semi-structured data which is in mid-level. So here we can see the various applications related to it. So whatever data we have been provided, we will just bifurcate it into three parts: structured, semi-structured and unstructured. So I hope this topic is clear. These are the types of data. Okay. Proceeding further, there are some interrelated terms of data analytics. One of them is data lake. And another one is data warehouse. In short, we write it as DWH. So what do you mean by data lake? As you can see, data lake is any data which is kept somewhere in consolidation, and we have collected it from some source and now we are keeping it. It is independent of the source. We have just compiled our data. एक जगह हमने अपना data रख लिया and then we are moving it to further. We are processing it and giving it to other ways. Okay, and data warehouse is the data which is compiled of, and it is value based. That means we can say the information is not in the raw form, but it is in the changed form, and it is in the clean form. Further, I will tell you the various steps of data analytics. In that, one of the main step is data cleaning. Whatever data we are getting from various sources, that means heterogeneous sources, we just compile that data and we clean it through various mechanisms. Now, this is one of the most important question that is asked in exams, that is characteristics of big data. So, if I talk about characteristics of big data, so there are 5 V's of big data. Okay, volume, velocity, veracity, value. Now, if I talk about this, here they have described only 4 dimensions. So, we just talk about 4 V's of big data. Here, as you can see, the first one is volume. Now, if I talk about what is volume, volume is the amount of liquid which we have contained in any particular container. Okay. So, volume is concerned about the scale of data, at what level the data is growing, and it is growing rapidly. Okay. So, as we all know, big data is voluminous data. Whatever data we are getting in bulk, either in petabytes, zotabytes, yottabytes, that is all about the voluminous data. So, big data is that. The first characteristic is volume. Okay. If I talk about second, velocity. As we all know that within a second, within a nanosecond, lots of data is being transmitted from sender end to receiver end. So, the demanding analysis is the speed at which data is increasing. So, the velocity, why the data is so of higher velocity? Because in various applications, either it is transactional data, banking area, internet connections or any other trading area, the velocity is more. The data is moving at a larger pace from one place to another place. So, this is also important. Then third one is variety. As we all know that in big data, we are taking data from various sources. Okay. So, obviously, it will be of different types. And as we have discussed about 3 types, so there will be 3 types of data: structured, semi-structured and unstructured. So, whatever data we are getting, we just gather it at one place. Then fourth one is veracity. What do you mean by veracity? Whatever data we are getting in any form, it's not necessary that it is 100% in its pure form or it is in its optimized form. Okay. So, veracity is concerned with uncertainty or inaccuracy of the data. Whatever data I am holding at any place, is it accurate according to my business domain or to my problem domain? So, that features is named as veracity. So, as we can say, it is concerned with uncertainty or inaccuracy of data. In many cases, the data will be inaccurate. So, filtering and selecting the data. As I already told you, that data cleaning is one of the important step of data analytics. Okay. So, veracity is concerned with cleaning the data and checking out that how much of the data is accurate. A lot of statistical and analytical process has to go for data cleansing, for choosing intrinsic data for decision making. So as I told you that for proper decision making in any of the area, we need more veracity to be ensured. Okay. Okay. Then big data. What is big data? It is a type of IT solution that combines the features and capabilities of several big data application and utilities within a single solution. As you know, big data is any type of IT platform that will combine the features of every application. It is an enterprise class. We can just define it in various ways. Different researchers come and they define a particular topic or any particular area according to their usage of area. Okay. So here there are various definitions of big data. You can see big data platform consists of big data storage, servers, database, big data management, business intelligence, and other big management. Many more we will cover up further. Now this is important. What are the features of big data analytics platform? Of what type of platform will be renamed as big data analytics platform? Now what is big data platform? Big data platform should be able to accommodate new platforms and tools based on business requirement. Okay, whatever area we are taking of our working, the tools must be on the business requirement. Okay, it should support linear scale out. It should support linear data. It should have the capability of deployment of data. Deployment का meaning है कि one platform से या one operating system से हम दूसरे operating system पे अपना data put कर रहे हैं, so that it can easily work over it. Okay. It should support variety of data format. Platform should provide data analysis and reporting tools. It must have the capability to provide different types of tools. The tools can be of reporting type, they can be of data analysis type, they can be of any type. It should provide real-time data analysis software. So, the big data analytics platform, it must be capable of having all these features. Okay. Now, these are the 4 basic steps, or you can say the phases of data analytics life cycle. As we all know, in human beings, the life cycle is ranged from an infant to an adult person or to an aged person. But if I talk about the phases of data analysis, so the steps are very necessary to be executed in sequence so that the data is in proper format till final stage. Okay. So first step is determine the data. Whatever data I am getting, okay, that must be of heterogeneous type. For example, if I am gathering some college information, so it will have the data of students roll number, student previous year result, okay, and many other things. And if I talk about banking data, so it will about any particular customer. So it will hold the transaction history of any customer. It will hold the number of accounts. In that also it can have the number of loan accounts and many things. So the first step is to determine the data. When till the step, हमें जब data का नहीं पता लगेगा, how will we check that what type of data we need or we want to filter out? So the first step is determining the data, and we just check out that which type of data is it. Then it may be in the numerical form, it may be in the graphical form. Okay, so the first step is most important. Then collection of data. Second step is the process of collecting it. This we can do via various sources. It is simply telling कि हम कौन-कौन सी sources से collect कर सकते हैं. For example, it can be any online source, it can be any book, it can be any hard book, okay, offline book, or we have gathered through any particular person. So that is collection of data. Then third step is organization of data and cleaning of data. Organization of data. Now, in the first step, I have determined the type of data. Then I have collected it in proper format. Then my collected in a way. Now my aim is to organize that data. Either if I know that I can put that data in tabular form or in graphical form or in pie chart form. So I will put my data accordingly. Okay. And then I will organize it. So in third step, we just check the various mechanisms via which I can compile my data and put it into any format. Either it can be in a spreadsheet or in a pie chart form, in a table form, anything. And at the final step, we just clean the data. right? So in the fourth step, in whatever values we have put, okay, whatever format we have put, we just clean that particular data. In fourth step, data is cleaned up, and then that means we just cleaning का क्या meaning हुआ? That means we can just scrub it out. We can check the duplicate values. We can check the incomplete values. We can just remove them. As in various domain areas, we know we don't need any redundant values. Okay, any duplicate values or any incomplete values. So the main aim of data analytic engineer or data scientist is to remove those at the earlier stage only. So if I talk about this, so these are the 4 steps of data analysis. Determine the data, collection of data, then organization of data and cleaning of data. So the sequence must be maintained in a proper way. Moving further towards the topic. Now this is one of the important topic. What are the data analytic tools? If I talk about actually working on a particular person's system or mobile phone or something. So what are the data analytic tools which the data scientists and the various engineers are using nowadays to for the purpose of data analysis? Data को analyze करने के लिए हम कौन-कौन से tools को use करते हैं, क्या use करते हैं? And one of the so first name is Apache Hadoop. What is Apache Hadoop? As you must all have heard about the Apache name. Okay, so Apache Hadoop is a big data analytics tool which is a Java based free software framework. Now it is Java based completely, and as Java is known to everybody studying here, so it is a Java based free software framework, and it is one of the most effective system because it has some components. Here you can see in 4th point, it has a component named as HDFS which helps to distribute our files into the smaller parts. Okay, so these are the features of Hadoop. Apache Hadoop, a big data analytics tool which is a Java based free software framework. What does it do? It helps in effective storage of huge amount of data in a storage place. Hadoop के अंदर एक space होता है that is known as cluster, and we can put a lots of data in that. Okay, and it also runs in parallel processing. It runs in parallel on a cluster, and it has the ability to process huge data across all nodes. So this is a storage system of Hadoop. Then second tool. Many more tools you will just get when you will study via internet or any other mode. So you can get the names of many other data analytic tools. Okay, so it's not necessary that you will have to mention these only in your exams. So second tool is Data Wrapper. What is Data Wrapper? It is an online data visualization tool for making interactive charts. If we want to work graphically, if we want to depict our data in a graphical format, as we all know that if we depict our data in a graphical format or in a video format, audio format, then the spectator gets more clearer understanding as compared to the text file. So it is an online data visualization tool for making interactive charts. And here we can use our data in CSV, PDF or Excel format. That means it is a graphical tool, image based tool in which we can use image area. Okay, Data Wrapper. Data Wrapper generate visualization in the form of bar, line, map, etc. It can be embedded into any other website also. Why it is known as wrapper? What is, as we all know that when we have something or we eat some toffee, chocolate, something, it is wrapped in that wrapper. Okay, so Data Wrapper also is a type of tool which can be embedded into any other website or any other portal. That's why the tool is named as Data Wrapper. Okay, I hope students it is clear. Then third is Tabuli. That is another popular big data tool. It is also very simple and interactive to use. Here also we can depict the data through visualization. Then through Tableau, an analyst can check a hypothesis and explore the data before starting to work on it extensively. One important feature of Tableau is that here the analyst can have a hypothesis. Hypothesis is something, some form of data that is not completely true. When we are taking some assumptions and then we are trying to prove it through the practical facts. So these are the hypotheses. Then RapidMiner. RapidMiner is a tool that operates using visual programming. So you can say in RapidMiner we use the concept of visual programming, And also it makes data science team. Again, this is an open source platform which is nowadays being used in many areas, like for data preparation step, for model deployment at final stage of data analytics. Okay, so it is this type of tool which is used. Then R programming, you must have heard about R programming. That is also an FOSS, free open software, which is used nowadays for any type of statistical computing and graphics. So it is used by data miners for developing statistical software and data analysis. Now it has become a tool. So these are the names of some tools, I hope. Now if I talk about application areas or domain areas, जहाँ पे हमें data analysis की बहुत ज़्यादा requirement है. So here we can see the various areas in which I have bifurcated the data to be compiled. First one is security. Data analytics applications, or more specifically predictive analysis, has also helped in dropping crime rates in certain areas. Nowadays, as we see, the various types of cyber crimes and online frauds and online transactions or data tampering is being held. So security is one of the prime concern in any of the area. Okay. So if we talk about the usage of tools, so via using different tools, you can just secure your data. Then transportation. Data analytics can be used to revolutionize transportation. It can be used especially in areas where we need to transport a large number of people. If we want to, if I talk about airline system, and we know that in particular area, the weather is nowadays not as cool, and weather is not up to the mark. So we just analyze our previous data, like as we do in machine learning, and then we can send or we can arrange the flights of the passengers accordingly. So for every area nowadays, we need a lots of data to be analyzed in a proper way. So data analytics is a domain area, or you can say it is a subject in which we are dealing with these different techniques. That what are the techniques by which we can analyze our data. Third one is risk detection. Many organizations were struggling under debt and they wanted the solution to of the fraud. As I have already discussed in first point of security, that security is very essential in almost every domain area nowadays. So organizations are struggling to have some security measures or countermeasures so that we can save our data. So data analytics is required for that only. They already had enough customer data in their hands and so on. Like this we can just describe. Delivery means whatever logistic companies are there, they also use data analysis to examine the collected data and improve their overall efficiency. Using data analytics application, the companies were able to find best shipping routes. So these are some of the domain areas. If I talk about fast internet allocation, what it is saying? If we talk about smart cities, nowadays we know that internet is working everywhere and we want to make our data mobile, that our data can move from one place to another place and it can be used in various domain areas. So for that we are mentioning this point, that fast internet allocation must be there. Okay. Many more applications are there related to this that high-tech industries are using. So this is one of the area. Then internet searching, digital advertisement. Internet searching means, as we know, whatever search engines we are using, either it is Google, Yahoo, whatever, these engines use different data analytics and machine learning algorithms to deliver the best result for a search query. For example, if you are searching somewhere, so the above-most, the topmost hyperlink will be the best result of that particular search query at that time. So internet searching means that we are using this. Then digital advertisement. Data analytics has revolutionized digital advertising. Digital billboards in cities and as well as banners on website. Everywhere we can see the digital billboards are reflected, and that is the most of the prominent way to advertise our data or to advertise our product. So these are the domains by which we can bifurcate data analytics. Then key application areas of data analytics. First one is healthcare. As we know, if we are going somewhere and we are telling some symptoms to our doctor that we have been facing these symptoms since last week. So the doctor at the first step just analyze and put our symptoms on his paper. That is the way by which he can provide us the better diagnosis, or he can predict the problem or disease, whatever we are having. Accordingly, he or she provides us the particular drug or medicine accordingly. So first area is data analytics, healthcare, then finance. As I told you, the most of the data which is transmitted from one place to another place is in banking area. So the probability of frauds is most in banking area. So we must need to identify that what are the ways by which we can provide our data analytic tools and algorithms so that fraud doesn't occur. Then marketing, customer segmentation. If I talk about data analysis, so data analysis is also very necessary in the field of marketing. For example, if we are sending our salesperson or salesman to a particular area for the sale of any product, okay, and we don't know the demographics, we don't know the region wise mentality of that particular people area, so there is no use of the survey or the analysis. So we can use marketing, we can use the concept of data analysis for these particular things. We can use it for customer segmentation and for targeted advertising, for market research area, for customer prediction. We can take it almost in every domain area. So if I just bifurcate, first area would be finance, second would be marketing, and many more you can take. Healthcare, finance, marketing, then retail area. And if I talk about normal shopkeepers, which are who are sitting in the market, they comes in the retail category. So for optimizing their stock levels, to just keep a track on their stock levels, to just suggest the products based on the customer recommendations or preferences, then to select the best possible category of product for that. This all comes under the category of price optimization. So here they have given the various parameters under every heading that we can consider for the data analytics purpose. Then manufacturing. If I talk about the manufacturing of any particular product, okay, and I'm taking the sale of any particular product. Suppose I'm talking about the blankets in a particular area. So in the city or in the state where cold doesn't occur frequently, or in yearly only 2 to 3 months of summer season is there. So we don't need to maintain the stock or the manufacturing of blankets or quilts or the weather clothes there, woolen clothes, sorry, there. So we, unless and until we must analyze our previous data or previous preferences or previous weather conditions, we can't tell about this. So data analytics is important in this field as well. Okay, now moving further, we can talk. These are all the application areas. Many more application areas you can consider. As we all know that without analyzing and the data, we can't predict the future outcomes of anything. Okay. Then moving further, now the question arises that in how many categories or in how many parts I will categorize data analytics, or I can say that data analytics are of these many types. So here, generally we take these 4 types of analysis: statistical, diagnostic, predictive, but the researchers have included the first category also now, that is text analysis. Okay. See, if it is written analysis, please don't get confused. Data analysis is analogous to data analytics. Either we can write data analysis or we can write data analytics. Both are the same things. So, categories they have defined. First category is text analysis. Second is statistical. Third one is diagnostic. Fourth is predictive. And fifth is prescriptive. Further, you can say that diagnostic is also there. That is also one category there that is included. Okay. Diagnostic. So, first one is text analysis. So, if I talk about text analysis, whatever data we are providing in the text form, that would be of text analysis. Statistical means statistical data we are taking. Diagnostic, further we will explain these analysis. First one is descriptive. Okay. So, if I talk about descriptive, okay. So, if I talk about this type, first one is descriptive analytics. Descriptive analytics help answer the questions about what happened. If I, as the name is depicting, that descriptive analytics is the It is giving the description or the detailed overview of something. So if in any domain we are talking about what are the questions about what happened in this particular area, so data sets are summarized or they are analyzed to describe the outcomes to the stakeholders. For example, when we have lots of data, we have lot of description about something, so we just analyze it and we perform the factors, we take the indicators and accordingly we do. Descriptive means large amount of data. Then second one is diagnostic analytics. As I told you that if we are going to doctor and we are telling the symptoms which I am encountering from some days. So if I ask, I'm telling him that I'm having cold from these many days, or say he or she asks why it happened. So why it happened? Because I went to the hilly area and there the temperature was very low. So if he analyze the data in this form, that particular patient is having that disease since 3 months or having cold since 3 weeks, 2 weeks, because he or she has went to the hilly area and he can't withstand that. So this is diagnostic analysis in which we take the findings from. And one more thing, it is completely linked to descriptive analytics. When we have lots of data and we just compile or extract some specific data from that lot of data, so then we can put it in the category of diagnostic. They take the findings from descriptive analytics and then we can find out the further patterns from it. Generally, it occurs in 3 steps, it is saying. First, we identify the anomalies. Secondly, we check the data, what is related to the anomalies is collected. And third one is the statistical techniques which are used to find the relationships and trends and explain the anomalies. That means we just identify the anomalies. Whatever anomalies means whatever mistakes is there in my data. That mistake can be due to the incomplete data, due to the duplicate data. The first step to identify that mistake in the data. Then second step is to collect that anomaly based data, anomalic data. Then third one are the usage of statistical techniques in which I will find the relationship between that. So first one was descriptive, second is diagnostic. Then moving further, third type of analytics is predictive analytics. As I talk about weather forecasting area. So the weather scientists usually then when they analyze the future temperature of any particular area, they just check out the historical data or the temperature of the previous 6 days or 7 days, and then they forecast that tomorrow would be the sunny day or a cloudy day. So predictive analytics helps answer questions about what will happen in the future. And these techniques purely use the historical data to identify the trends that can occur. There are various tools present for this also, which provide some insight into what may happen in the future. And the various techniques used for this are neural networks, decision trees, regression, and many more. So this was the third category of analytics. Till now we have studied predictive and descriptive and diagnostic. Then final one is prescriptive. Prescriptive is related to the solution. Okay, it relies on these strategies. For example, you can say prescriptive analytics help answer questions about what should be done. By using the insights from predictive analytics, data-driven decisions can be made. So this type of analytics is most important, you can say. Important, all of the 4 are very important. But prescriptive analysis finally helps us to make the decision in the face of uncertainty. They rely on machine learning strategies, different data analytic tools which we can use to find the patterns in large data sets. By analyzing the past decisions and events, the likelihood of different outcomes can be estimated. And by analyzing the past decision and events, likelihood we can easily determine. So this was the type of descriptive, or we can say various methods are present in data analytics.